Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
Ah, jeez. You're here. Yeah. How much you guys paying the umpires, by the way, when the ball hits the line?
Clearly hits the line.
And
that was awful. They got hosed a lot of that night. I got to say. The Marlins got the bad end of a few calls in that game. I will admit
You
that.
think?
I will admit that. Not just that.
Mackerel. Like I'm watching this going, oh, that's a fair ball. That's foul. Like going, foul? Foul? Ay. Well, your team has won 5 straight games now.
They have, but I think the same problem still rear its ugly head. They get a lead through 6 innings in the postseason. Can they finish it?
Well, again,
I'm not sure they can.
The issue is, and I talked about this when I was doing the Spikes game last night. I said, look, I don't care what level of baseball you're at, all the way up to the major leagues. Every single team in baseball is trying to find bridge guys in the 7th and 8th innings. And the vast majority of the teams don't. That's when, we talked about, I'll tell you the one team that does. Now, the guy's on the IL right now, but Garrett Whitlock, I mean, if the Red Sox were out of it, I think he would have been one of the more highly sought-after guys out there because he actually is really good at what we're talking about.
Sure.
Because I think the best bridge guy ever was Mariano Rivera to get the John Wetland.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wetland was the closer.
Sure.
Wetland was the closer. It was the guy who gave the bridge guy was Mariano Rivera. And the Yankees finally looked over and said, you notice like they never score off of him, but Wetland leaves the bases loaded. Maybe we ought to think about, well, whatever. So, what are we getting to today? Because, I mean, it was, the Lakers debacle, of course, has happened.
Yes.
And it was a very, very, for billionaire sports owner Mark Walter, this was a very difficult story for ESPN to cover because they saw SEC and they thought it was the Southeastern Conference. Ever hear of the Securities and Exchange Commission?
It's unfortunate that we will not see the Buss family much longer with the Lakers. I think it's something that has been synonymous for many years. Yeah.
Okay, you've got to take this story a little deeper.
Sure, absolutely.
Because Walters also owns, guess what? The Dodgers.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not done. Okay? Guess who has a contract that is backloaded on pay?
Quite a bit.
And I've said how many times to you, which you've agreed reluctantly, but it's that's just your nature.
Yep.
I said, whomever buys the Dodgers gets stuck.
Stuck with it. Oh, yeah.
With it. I don't think it's going to be him.
Yeah.
Because people are kind of wondering also about his stake in Chelsea. Yeah.
Yep.
His stake in Andretti Global Racing. He owns the LA Sparks.
Yep.
And again, if Walter exits, this is what people don't realize. If Walter exits, guess who has an exit clause in his contract?
Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
Absolutely.
So this Laker thing, like he sold it in 14 months and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's because we're under investigation.
Yeah.
All right. Fraud is not a good word. Even you've been offended when you've been called one.
Or when you commit one.
Oh, my goodness, your entire career encapsulated in one word. Hey, before we get to the Penn State football thing, the SEC, we can't cover this. It's negative on the SEC. No, it's the Securities and Exchange Commission. Who's running this network? So high school football starts a week from Friday.
Yeah.
You, of course, will be doing State High again, along with Adam Sheets. You guys do such a phenomenal job. You make Friday nights so enjoyable to listen to. What kind of team do they potentially have this year?
I think they'll be a good team. I think you look right now, I think you're probably looking at one of the favorites of the mid-pen. You bring a lot of guys back. You lose a lot, but you reload. I think it's a team that should be tested right out of the gate. You go to Central York week 1, which is going to be a tough road game.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say they're tough games for the most part, other than Harrisburg, are on the road. That's one thing that's going to test them for sure. But I think it's a team that is going to be battle-tested, bring a lot of experience back, especially on that offensive line, which is going to help. So I think there's a lot of good that comes. Yes, they got guys they got to replace, especially at the running back position. You got to replace Sheffy, but I think you can, without question, very deep at that position.
Yeah.
Also, you bring a starting quarterback in. So I think that without question, this is a team that is in the top 2, I think, at least in the mid-pen going into the preseason. Again, preseason rankings don't mean a thing. That just like is the case in college, they don't mean a thing in high school either. But I think it's a team that is going to be tested right out of the gate, which I think is going to be great. And it's the end of the year now that you get Harrisburg, but you get McDevitt in week 3 on the road. Tough environment, without question. And you also, again, you got Central York to start. You got McDevitt, and you also have the tough game with Cumberland Valley on the road, which is never an easy place to play.
Right. Okay, so let's get to Penn State. Which position we go into next?
Wide receivers and tight ends today.
All right, so we'll start out with the tight end part. When they have everybody healthy, this is as good and as deep a room as you're going to find. And you can debate who has the best tight end rooms in the country because, it's whatever. But I think that Matt Campbell is incredibly confident in this tight end room, as is the offensive coordinator. And ironically, the tight end coach, Taylor Mauser.
Yep.
Ben Bramer. And I was on a show in Omaha on Monday, and because he's a Nebraska guy, they brought up Bramer, and this is a big, dependable target. You can tell Rocco Becht has a lot of comfort and trust in him. And look, when you have a guy that's 6'7", you can put the ball in spots where there's no way the defender has a shot at getting to it. The only way it would be is if, and overthrowing it would be difficult. But, if there's a deflection or something, that's where, but for the most part, you can put the ball in a spot with him, you're going to get it. And he is just somebody who there's a comfort level Rocco has with him, and he can run. He's a really good player. Rapplier, we've all watched him with our own eyes. I'm not going to tell fans out there things they haven't seen. Rapplier can block. Rapplier can catch it. He's got good speed. You can play him on the line of scrimmage. You can play him on the wing. You can play him in the backfield. He brings a lot of versatility to the tight end spot. And we saw it last year on display. There was a big reason when the decision was made to keep one. Let's keep one at tight end. The one they chose was Rapplier because he was the better all-around player. Right? He is not a former wide receiver playing tight end. He's a tight end. And they were excited to keep him. Now that they've seen him out there practicing, he's been a big plus. The third guy eventually might be the best all-around guy, and that's Gabe Burkle. Burkle is working his tail off to get back. Can catch it. He can block it. He brings a lot of versatility to the room. There will be times where you're going to see Penn State go, a lot of times they'll go 12 personnel. That's one running back, 2 tight ends. And when Burkle comes back, don't be surprised if every once in a while you see 13 personnel, 3 tight ends. Then there's Cooper Alexander. Cooper Alexander's a really good prospect. I knew they liked him, but then in watching him practice in the spring and in the preseason, I can see why they do. He can catch the ball. He's a good blocker. But they've got depth there. And I'll throw one more name in there. Cooper Alexander's a good player. And he is a contributor. And it's not just that he'll fill the void until Burkle gets back. He'll be out there because he deserves to be out there. I'll throw one more name in that mix, and it's Finn Firmenich.
Yep. Former State High quarterback, versatile player. Played wide receiver there.
Finn is somebody that he'd be a star in the MAC.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he'd be a star in the Mountain West. But he's elected to stay here. And guess what? He is impressing the coaching staff by what he's doing. Now, does that mean he starts? Does that mean he's ahead of somebody else? No. But I think it's important to mention the great work that he's doing out there, because he is doing great work out there. Now, how that translates into playing time, he'll find playing time in a lot of ways. You'll find him on special teams. And then we'll see how it plays out in terms of the health of the position. But I think they're confident he knows exactly what he's doing out there. Wide receivers. This has been a target of the fan base and the media for years. And the last truly great wide receiver Penn State had here was Jahan Dotson. Now, I will say with due respect to Trey Wallace, Trey Wallace was very, very good. Right? And it wasn't just Dotson. It was also, let's give credit where credit's due, Parker Washington. Right? So they were here together. Washington and Dotson. That was a pretty good 1-2 punch at wide receiver. You could see in the NFL what Washington's done with Jacksonville. I'm not surprised Parker's done that.
Yeah, great route runner. Yeah, that was
and hands.
And hands, absolutely.
And hands.
Those two things come together. It can run after the catch. Yeah, those are things that are going to keep you in the league.
Well, not only that, he's in terms of his footwork, he was the most flexible wide receiver on footwork since Jordan Norwood. The way he could pivot, make a turn on a dime, that's Norwood. That's Parker Washington. Trey Wallace in his own right was very, very good. Was he elite? I wouldn't say he was elite, but he was very, very good.
Yeah. But injuries plagued him a little bit here. Yeah. I think that was one thing.
But there wasn't enough around him. And you cannot play a playoff game like they did with Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl in the national semifinals and not have a wide receiver make a catch. I mean, I'm sorry. You're never going to win a game like that. Right? How about this? You'll rarely win a game like that.
Yeah. Yep.
So now let's get to this group. I've already gone through the tight ends. This group, Brett Eskelson can take the top off. I would say if you were to say who the 3 fastest players on the team happen to be, one would be Ethan Black, Davian Collins, and Brett Eskelson. They're the 3 fastest players on the team. Of those that will be playing on Saturdays, like actually playing in the game, it's Collins and it's Brett. So he can take the top off, and he has really good hands. And that combination is a dynamite combination. And Eskilsson, I think, has a chance to be a really, really good receiver here. Kobe Howard had a tendency last year, and it showed up in the spring as well, to be a receiver of great talent, but he wanted to hit a home run on every play and never had the mindset of settling for a single or a double. Well, that's changed. He has now made himself, through hard work and understanding what the coaching staff wants, to hit the home run when the pitch is there, and has the ability to hit singles and doubles because we need to move the chains here. And he has had a really good camp. Really good camp. He's fulfilling some of the... Now, we'll see how it translates into a game, but he's starting to fulfill some of the promise a lot of people saw in him. Because last year, people go, oh, he's not... Why is he even playing? Because, look, you know, when a guy wants to hit the home runs all the time, right, there are a lot of swings and misses, too. And that's youth. Right?
Absolutely.
Right?
No doubt.
And then in the spring, it showed up a little bit more again. Well, now, guess what's not showing up anymore? There's now a maturity to his game where when the pitch is there to hit the home run, he'll take the big swing. And he's been very good. Now, can he, you know, and I also think he's been consistent. When Eskilsson's been consistent, Howard's been consistent, Chase Sowell, that's always been with the key with him in his career. You're talking about a 6'3" receiver. Consistency has always been the critical word with him. When he is out there making plays consistently, he'll turn in a 146-yard receiving game like he did with Arizona last year when he was at Iowa State. Couple times early in camp, did he drop the ball when the media was there? Yeah, that was when the media was there. But now he's starting to stack days. He's stacking days. And the consistency, at least on the practice side, is coming together for him. And at 6'3", another great target to throw to.
That's a
consistency, though.
Consistency and guy that's on the outside. That's what you need. Any kind of receiving group is going to need that guy you can throw to and target on the outside. And when you're 6'3", that's perfect. That's what you can do.
So, Zay Robinson, they knew about at Iowa State as well. He was on the scout team last year. He gave their secondary fits. Well, guess what? You watch him now, and he's playing. He's playing. Good player who had, I thought, a really good spring, and I think he's had an even better preseason to this point. Can catch it, can run after the catch. He plays with a lot of enthusiasm and is a really good player. So, I mean, there's depth here. We're talking about the depth. Amarian Jackson, true freshman, when he came in, they were going to play him at wide receiver for the first half of the spring, and then they were going to play him at safety in the second half of the spring. He did so well at wide receiver in the first half of the spring, they never switched him back. They never switched him over. And he's been a wide receiver ever since. Same story. He's had a really good camp. For the most part, he's been consistent. For the most part, he's been a consistent player out there. Consistency is the key with all this. Like, for example, Keith Jones, the next guy I'm going to talk about, was inconsistent to me in the spring. Has been consistent in preseason camp. Now, I mean consistent, I mean consistent good. Like, a lot of people have, I've got texts like, is Jason consistently bad? I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Just have to have that continuity and rhythm to stay consistent.
No, people are texting me. There's an issue.
Absolutely.
49er fan.
Yeah, they say incredible, and then they say incredibly bad. That's not fair, but yeah, it's okay. They do say incredible in there.
Yeah. So Jones has become more consistent. Transfer out of Grambling, and he is after being, I thought, inconsistent in the spring. He has been consistent in training camp so far. It's been a plus. Keith Brookins just got back. I think the media saw him back out there on Monday, and they reported that he was out there. And we'll see how it goes with him, because now my evaluation on him is going to be based on what I'm seeing now, not what I saw in the spring. And so, that's the wide receiver group. Look, Rocco and Mansky really throw beautiful, tight, spiral, catchable footballs. I think wide receivers like working with quarterbacks that can throw the way they throw it. And if you can combine this with a running game, which of course a lot of this revolves around what we're going to talk about tomorrow, and that's the offensive line. Because I assume the offensive line's tomorrow. They've got a chance to do some really good things offensively, because the offensive line, which will be the trigger of all this, I think has a chance. The starting group has a chance to be really, really good. But only games will tell the story of the consistency part. Only games will tell the story about the upgrade at the position. And let's give it a month into the season to see the things I'm talking about now, to see if they play out and are true. Because that's one thing about college football that is completely different than any other sport. In soccer, you have friendlies. The NFL, you have the preseason. The NBA preseason, spring training in baseball. NHL is the preseason. College basketball, they have the double secret probation scrimmage. Then they have an open one, an open preseason game, and then you play. College football is none of that. Right. You're practicing against your guys day in and day out for a month. Right? Now I want to see how you do it against somebody else. Do I think they will? I do. But because I think they will, but I want to see it play out, because I think they have the capability to be a big plus and an upgrade over what we've been seeing. They have a chance, but you got to do it in games. So that's the look at tight ends and wide receivers. Yeah. And the stadium is coming along. I guess they put in a 49er gold seat for you in the press box.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Your team has a lot of injuries. Even the coaches.
No, even the coaches are going down. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you. By the way, I want to pay quick tribute to Bill Rasmussen.
Absolutely.
He is the founder of ESPN.
Yep, an incredible vision, 1979.
So, I did talk a little bit about this the other day, because I have a little different view on him, because I grew up there. So, for those who may not realize, I grew up right near the Massachusetts border in Connecticut, and about 7 or 8 miles from the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield. Well, guess who was the television sportscaster when I was growing up at WWLP Channel 22 in Springfield? Bill Rasmussen. And I remember he left the job that when the New England Whalers moved from Boston to Hartford, he became their play-by-play guy. And after the 78 season, they fired him. He was their head of communications and their play-by-play guy. Then they hired some guy named Chuck Caton, who won the Foster Hewitt Award and is in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And for some reason, the Carolina Hurricanes parted ways with him a few years ago. Like, what are you doing? So Rasmussen leaves, right? And at one point in his life on a religious station in Connecticut, he bought time on it to do a half-hour sports-only show. That's how much he believed in this, right? That's how much he believed in this. And so what he did was he maxed out his credit cards and he combined it with a $9,000 advance to invest in satellite technology. This is what he did. Now, you've got to get people to believe it. So he goes to the cable operators and he talks to them, and the cable operators are like, I don't know. I don't think so. So he changes strategy. He goes to Getty Oil and he tells Getty Oil, I've got all these cable systems across the country that are going to carry this. Even though he's received a very extremely lukewarm reception, that's not what he told Getty Oil. Getty Oil says, really? He then went back to the cable operators, and guess what he told them? We have Getty Oil.
Yeah.
And they're like, you do? You've got Getty Oil behind you. Well, okay. And amazingly, they came together just about the same time where they both said yes. This is after he'd gone through hey, under the category, what do you have to lose? You tell Getty Oil I got cable operators even though you don't. You tell the cable operators I've got Getty Oil. At that moment, you don't. What are you going to lose? You're in the same spot you were when you started. Absolutely. And it turned out that they all came together at like the same time and like, okay, here we go. And incredible what they were able to do. Now, eventually, I think it was after a year, they forced him out. It's like, who are these people? Right? But he's the guy that, he never made a lot of money off it. And again, what he did was, what Getty Oil bought, by the way, was 85% of the company. That's what he got. And Rasmussen, by all accounts, I think Mike Soltis was one of the first hires he made. And Soltis wrote a book about ESPN. And he said that Rasmussen was never bitter about the fact that he missed out on a gigantic fortune. And his son Scott helped him do this as well. But, yeah, he started all this. And, golly, do you remember Australian rules football?
Oh, yeah.
2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Berman, you want to know how the Berman nicknames thing started? Berman's on doing SportsCenter at 2 a.m. And he blurts out one of the nicknames, Frank Tanana Daiquiri or something like that. Right? And he hears in the IFB, and that's the earpiece you wear. He hears in the IFB, what the heck is that? But it's 2 a.m. Exactly. Nobody's watching. So that's how I always used to kid Dave Revsik, because Revsik was on ESPN News. And I said, geez, Dave, I said, was anybody watching you at 3 a.m.? He says, a few people. He says,
few people that don't remember what he said.
Right. Like, holy mackerel. Right. This is I I would be interested to think what he thinks of the vision of ESPN now under Disney as to what his original vision was.
Yeah, sure.
His original vision was. ESPN in the early years, I mean, the anchors were great. Chris Berman, Tom Mees, Bob Lee, George Grand, let's see, Lou Palmer. Well, there's another guy. I can see his face, but really, like, they were just like really into, and then eventually they added the Dan Patricks, the Keith Olbermanns, the Craig Kilborns, and so forth, that they added along the way, which were great. But today, I don't know. It's such a different time. But when it comes to games, you feel like you can watch any game, anytime, anywhere.
Sure, especially now.
Yeah, and that's because of them. That's because of ESPN. I still, to this day, will think it was a small mistake on the part of the Big Ten with their TV deal that they didn't at least give them minimum. Hey, let's do a 10:30 West Coast package of Big Ten football. That way, if you're within their grasp as a rights holder, they will promote the living daylights out of you. Now, the Big Ten's won 3 straight college football national championships and a men's and women's national championship this year. So you feel like they've grudgingly had to cover you. But I'll give you an indication. As you know, preseason teams, I put 0 stock in.
Right.
The preseason All-American team's out. I can't tell you anything about it. Didn't bother reading the article. Didn't bother reading it. Like, who cares? Who cares who's on the preseason All-American team? What I care about is who's on the postseason All-American team. Who's on the postseason? I mean, I do have to vote for all Big Ten 10 names to watch for football, and I think it's 10 as well for basketball. Okay, and I do it. It's not the easiest thing to do. You're like, okay, it's like, because nobody's played in months. But then you really put a lot of stock and you put a lot of time and effort into the postseason one. Because
Sure.
I mean, that's the real one. But there was something about ESPN did an article on, I guess, their preseason All-Americans or something like that, and 2/3 of them were SEC players or something like that. Oh, really? Really? 2/3 are? Really? Right? And what is your primary rights holder? Oh, the SEC, yeah. Just want to make sure. Worldwide leader. Yeah. Worldwide leader. So, yeah. I think Major League Baseball's been somewhat hurt by now. They're still on a few times. See, what's hurt Major League Baseball more than anything else is the regional networks getting blown up.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you grew up to those. You grew up to a lot of your Sunday baseball games on that regional network. Now they're not existent at this point.
Yeah,
and that's ultimately what a lot of investment in Major League Baseball has gone to the big networks. Places like NBC have 5, 6, 7 teams.
Yeah.
There's no question. You're not seeing the WPIXs of the world or WPHL 17s of the world anymore. WOR.
Yeah.
And
WSBK in Boston, Channel 38. Like, okay.
Yeah. Grew up to it. Grew up to all of those.
I
question.
think the Phoenix Suns are going back to over-the-air TV, believe it or not. So, the Athletic, by the way, have you ever seen McCombs Dam Park?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess it's like, I saw it in December because it's where old Yankee Stadium used to be. And I'm like, I said to Jack, I go, that place looks kind of ratty over there now. Because the last time we saw it was when they played in the 2014 Pinstripe Bowl.
Yep.
So I hadn't seen the park in 11 years because I've been to New York City a lot, but I'm not going over to the Bronx unless they're playing a game there. All right. And when we saw it the first time, like, wow, it was really nice. Now you look over at it and you're like, what the heck's happened over there? Yeah. And, of course, guess who's responsible for maintaining it? City of New York. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The Parks Department physically operates it. The Yankees do host events there, but everybody knows it's a problem. I mean, they're not cutting the grass.
Right.
It's a park.
Yeah.
Okay? And nobody can come together and help this place out. I mean, the Athletic did the story on how the park has fallen into issues. And the Yankees wouldn't even comment on it. No offense, the Yankees play on natural grass. I do know for a fact they own a mower.
Yeah, I would hope so.
So if the city isn't going to mow it, why don't they?
Why don't they? Exactly.
Man. Now, it was called Heritage Field at one point. Now it's called Elston Howard Field. It cost $51 million to do this. The Yankees claim they donated $10 million. Right? Brian Smith, the Yankees senior vice president of corporate and community relations, said the franchise has contributed annually in recent years to the park's maintenance, and they'll continue to engage in that. He said McCombs Dam Park and Elston Howard Field are vital community spaces that sit in the shadows of Yankee Stadium. Since their inception, they have dedicated support and invested the ongoing upkeep. Okay? Because I believe there's a blue line, and the blue line happens to be the shape of the stands to the outfield wall that goes around, so you know you're playing within the confines of the old Yankee Stadium. But it's also city property. They have sent numerous messages to the mayor. Just a quick guess as to how many were returned.
Nice round figure.
Yeah. Yeah. And back in April, the Yankees are working, like the front office people are working over at the stadium, and they look over at one point and they go, is there smoke over there? It turns out that the bleachers had caught on fire. Yeah. So, the park's there, whatever. So, what Smith did, the fire happens. So, for the heck of it, he decides to walk over to see what's going on. And he walks over and he's horrified by what he sees. He says, give us a list of items here. He said, we got to do some short-term work here. What the heck's going on? What are you people in the city doing? Believe me, I was there when it snowed. That was an adventure watching that. Yeah. They always talk about people in the north being able to handle snow, and the people in the south can't. People in that city can't handle it.
It's a scary thought.
Oh, God, the streets are brutal. A former city council member who once voted against the construction of the new Yankee Stadium said the Yankees historically have not been good community partners.
Fancy way of saying they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
The Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson said that a $54 million renovation has been approved. $54 million. You used to build stadiums for that. It's yeah, it's not good.
No.
So, the city prioritizes the Yankees over this neighborhood, said one woman. All you got to do is walk around and look. Okay. There are 62 counties in New York State. In health outcomes, where do you think the Bronx rates?
Probably 62.
62, right on the money. You are clairvoyant. Yeah. There you go. We have made repeated calls to the mayor's office and received
No response.
every time.